Hello, I'm called Amina Gloria Irankunda. I'm working on the goal called Conduct Business Globally in the project called Global Strategies. Um, Here in this video, I'm going to talk about the key considerations involved in moving the manufacturing arm of the company overseas. It is said, Acme Widget is planning to build manufacturing plant in Vietnam in order to facilitate sales in India and China. So I'm going to talk about the key consideration this Acme Widget is going to use so that it can be successful while planting the building manufacturing plant in the Vietnam and facilitating sales in India and China. So the first key consideration is Potter's five forces. These are the forces that make up a competitive environment, and they affect the profitability of the company. And among these forces, we have competitive rivalry, which is about the competitors, knowing about who are the competitors and how many are they. And we also have supplier power, which is about knowing the suppliers, your suppliers, if they're able to supply the raw materials that are needed to provide quality products and to meet the requirements of consumers. So another thing is buyer power, which includes what it will cost for the buyers to buy your products and what will cost them to shift to other competitors, and how they're able to buy your products. We also have another force, which is threat of substitution, which is about the substitutes of the products you produce. It's all about knowing what are the substitutes of my products. Are the people able to find other products that can replace my products and which can limit my products to be bought on the market. Another thing is about the threat of new entry. This is about how people are able to enter the market. Like your competitors, are your competitors able to enter the market easily? Are they able to come in the market and compete with you? This is also another force that is among Potter's five forces, and these forces are able to help the company to know whether it can be successful in a country, because it will help them to know how they are, like the competitors of your competitors in that country, the supply power, the buyer power, and the threat of substitution in that country and threat of new entry in that country. Another key consideration is Potter's national competitive advantage theory. This is also called diamond theory, Potter's diamond theory, and this includes factors, condition, demand, condition, related and supporting, and firm structure and strategy. In factor conditions, it's where you include the physical resources, human resources, and specialized resources. In demand condition, it's about products needed on the market and the people that needs those products. And related and supporting is about knowing if the country is able to support like your company in the successfulness, like which can lead to its successfulness. Like taking an example, banks, if the company, like the country has banks that are able to support the company in the way of in its ways of conducting that business in that company. So another thing is about firm structure and strategy, which is about competition and innovation. This is about whether the companies in the country have innovation and their strategies of supplying goods to consumers. Another key consideration that Acme should consider when building manufacturing plant in Vietnam, it should consider comparative advantage. This is This is when comparative advantage is when the country is able to produce goods or services at lowest opportunity cost. In this case, Acme has have to verify if it is able to produce goods at the lowest opportunity cost compared to Vietnam. This will help Acme to take a decision of whether to produce a certain product in that country, comparing to the opportunity cost of that product compared to opportunity cost of that product it has. um, so another thing to consider is absolute advantage. Absolute advantage is when the economy is able to produce a certain product using fewer resources than other countries in the production. Uh, Other countries who are in the production of that resource, that product. So the company can consider also this theory, because it will help them to know if there are it will be able to produce products using fair resources in Vietnam. It has to make decisions knowing like if it is going to get enough resources, raw materials to produce the products that will be needed by the customers in the country. So another key consideration of uh, Acme can use to consider can consider when um, building manufacturing plant in Vietnam. It also Gimawat's AAA strategies for global value. This includes approaches that can be used when conducting business globally, and those approaches include adaptation, aggregation, and arbitrage. I can recommend Acme to use adaptation because it's about making some changes which can lead to meeting the customer's requirements. It's also about localization, which means that it also emphasizes on the location of the business, and also see if the business will be favorable in taking will be favorable in the country, and it will be able to take measures that can make the business run in another country, which is Vietnam. This strategy also includes innovations which can lead to meeting customers' requirements in Vietnam, and that's why it is the strategy I can recommend uh, um, Acme to use when building when expanding its business in Vietnam. And aggregation and arbitrage, they can also work, but what's included in aggregation and arbitrage, they're also included in adaptation, which is the main reason I can recommend the company to use adaptation. So I'm going to talk about how those theories, like the company using those theories, will affect the efficiency of supply chains. The considerations I have said, which are those theories, can help in taking decision in supply chains, which will help in taking decision in production, so that the business can be successful in the company. They will also help in the company in taking decision in the company on the product to product specialization. Taking an example by the use of comparative advantage and absolute advantage, the company can be able to know the which product is it can specialize, and which product can lead to profitability in Vietnam compared to other products. When you compare the comparative advantage and absolute advantage of that product in that country, and the comparative advantage and absolute advantage of the company. So I think the theories I have mentioned before can lead to the success of the company, and they will lead to efficiency in supply chain management, because they will help in taking decisions in supply chain. Thank you so much.